Hey everybody, it's Tyler and Eric here again. This time we're going to talk about biceps. Some people have questions, come up to me at the gym and say, hey, what do we do for this? And is it better to go heavy? Is it better to go light? If you think about biceps, it's two muscles. That's why they call it bicep. And people ask what's better, hammer curls or regular curls? And the answer is they're both as important. You got to switch them up and do both of them at the same time. What I've learned is if you work your triceps with your biceps, it kind of helps your biceps, because when you're working your tricep, you're stretching out your bicep. And when you're working your tricep, you're stretching out your bicep. So it's also good to work out your triceps with your bis. Basically, there's a way your form will help you out too. You don't necessarily have to go really heavy to do good biceps. If you do lightweight, good form, good squeezing, you'll do a good job with biceps, and you'll feel a really good burn. But I have learned if you want to get bigger biceps, it's kind of helpful to do heavier with negatives. Have somebody spot you, helping you up, and then you just go light on the way down, or really slow on the way down, and that will just do that. And the slower you go, the better it is for you. So make sure you're going heavy, but heavy enough to where you're not going like that. You have to fight it on the way down. So basically, for biceps, this is a way you could kind of help your form by cranking them out that way, kind of pinching your elbows in, going out. Also, when you're doing your ins, to crank them out. If you look at my wrist, it's almost pointing that way, like my dumbbell. So that's really cranking your bicep when you do that. And these are just 25-pound dumbbells, and if I do 20 of them, it's burning really good. Because if you think about it, you turn your arm like this, it's flexing. Now, if you're lifting and cranking at the same time, that's basically a flex over top of another flex. So you're really isolating that bicep by doing that. Same with cables or rubber bands. I like doing burnouts with rubber bands. These are good to have at home. Usually your gym will have these too, if you go to the gym. And same way, you could come up and crank them. You could come up, crank, singles, or doubles. And basically that's all I got for biceps. You just want to make sure you're cranking them really nice. And you have any input on that, or anything to add?
As far as heavyweight and lightweight, kind of like our other program that we had in our last video, you can switch it back and forth. It's not something that you need to max out on.
Exactly.
I'll admit I've attempted it, but it's not really a power movement. It's not like a bench press or a squat or a deadlift or something. It's just because with those exercises you use multiple muscles, so you can move heavier weight safe. With a curl, you're just using just your bicep. There shouldn't be any. If you're using your shoulder, which means you're swinging it up, you should keep your elbows about at your side. If your elbows are coming up, that means using your shoulder and taking pressure off the bicep.
Kind of learned is keep your elbows tucked in. Yeah. Picture you have a softball in your arm, or a tennis ball, and you just keeping your arm in one motion.
It's one mistake a lot of people make, but if you do it correctly, you shouldn't need to do a crap load of weight. I've seen guys do lightweight all the time, and it works good for them. It's not. You can go heavy, just make sure you can do it correctly. That's the biggest thing. It's what we always say is quality over quantity. And you don't have to do heavyweight if you don't want to.
Then CT Fletcher. There are some people that do heavy curls, but they compete in straight bar curls. Some people that's just what they want to do, and that's their goal. And if you notice when they do those curls and they're going heavy, they actually do have good form when they do it. They usually have a curl bracket,
Oh yeah.
and they usually have to, when they're competing, they have to stand against a wall when they do it. So there's no back. So.
And another thing is a lot of people mistake with when you're doing that. It reminded me is getting the full range of motion, and this goes for every lift. A lot of people will only come down halfway because they got too much weight, and they'll just be doing it like this. It's like, and they're like, oh, it's not working. I don't feel it. I'm not getting the pump. Well, go down all the way. And so they do that, and then they can't lift it up. It's like, yeah, that's the problem. You're doing too much weight. You're not doing the full range of motion. Bring it down all the way. Keep it controlled. And bring it all the way back up. Squeeze the entire time. Get that full range of motion. That's how you do it.
And have an understanding of, like I said, how your bicep works. If you're cranking them or twisting them, you're going to get a better feel out of it as well. So,
and I used to do a lot of curls. I used to do like multiple exercises for the same thing, which I've learned since then. You can do if you want, but it's not completely necessary. You don't have to do 5 different workouts for the same muscle. And so I've kind of simplified it over time. But sometimes I don't even do curls anymore. I've cut back a lot. I used to do them a lot, but now it's like any of your back workouts, your lat pull downs, or your rows and stuff, you're using your bicep muscle there. So you're still getting the pump in from that. You're not isolating it, but you are using it. So you're not necessarily losing anything if you don't get your curls in.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing to add too, halves and fulls. It is okay to do halves and fulls, and like you said, some people aren't doing your biceps all full range of motion. But if you're specifically trying to do halves and fulls, that's okay. It just as long, like for instance, I'll show you guys a workout. We call them like 7s or 10s. It's where you curl halves for 7 reps. Then you go fulls, or the top halves for 7. I lost count. I'm not sure where I'm at. But
Start over now.
and then fulls for 7, and those feel really good. If you don't feel it for the 7s, you could always go either up weight, or you could just do 10s instead, and you'll feel them. Like they're good, and you can do that with straight bar curl dumbbells like that. It's up to you. So that's about it. Plates, you could use plates for curls. What I like to do is point my arms down, so or my thumbs down when I'm grabbing a 45-pound plate, and then I come up and curl them in straight down, so I'm getting a full stretch in my bicep. And I use my thumbs to point at the ground. When I'm showing the people that I'm training, you just point straight at the ground, you curl them back into you, you'll feel it in your arm. It's kind of like a hammer curl. So
yeah, you can curl just about anything you want. It's got weight. You can hold on to it. Doesn't even have to be weights, I guess.
Nope.
But
so
if you have any questions on it, just give us a holler.
I hope that helped you guys out. And just a point of view and just understanding of how your arm works and how your muscles work in your arm.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter how much weight you do, as long as you do it correctly. It's more of a finesse type thing.
And
yeah, that goes for any exercise. It really doesn't matter how much weight you do. I don't even do as heavy as I used to, but just as long as you do it right, you just right at the top along with everybody else. So, you gonna wrap this one up?
Yep, I think that's all I got to cover. So,
all right, thanks for watching.
Thanks. That was a pretty good one. I gotta piss.